Hey guys, what's up? So I'm back with yet another episode. Uh, so what we are going to do is we are going to start with our very first project, which is a to-do list. So let's get started. So if you see here, I do have a terminal open, and I went ahead and created a new um, Python environment. So I will just activate it. If you don't know how to create new one, you can just do create py virtual env, and then hit the name and whatever name you want to give, and then just hit enter. You will have a virtual environment created. So now that I have created a virtual environment which is named as to do, so I will just open it up. So I will say py virtual env no sorry py env activate. So my virtual name is to do, so it will just activate to do. So you can see there's a to do list over here. So to do is right over here, right? So I don't have anything. And what I will do, I will just go ahead and do a git init. So I will sorry, I'll first create a project basically. So I will say Django admin. uh, Please note that the Django and all utilities are already installed in the to-do list to-do list environment, so you can go ahead and do a pip install. Basically pip3 is already there, so you don't have to explicitly write pip3 install or something like that. You can just go ahead and do pip install Django, right? Okay, now that we have this, what we will do, we will say Django admin start project. My project name will be to do list. So this will be the project. I'm not sure if this is visible. I will just make it a bit bigger. What I will do, I will just cd into it. Cd to do list. So it's actually not in my project list. I just created a new project right away, so you can put it anywhere you want it. Please note this to do environment once activated, it will be applicable across your current shell session, right? So now that I have this to do list done, uh, we won't need terminal anymore. So I will just say exit, and I will just close the terminal, and I will open this project basically. So just let's wait on that, and my project should be here. It's to-do list. This is my project. So project, it will give us, we need to give it some time, so the to-do list will be open. Okay, and I don't need this anymore, so it will just close up. It's taking a bit of time because of this server issue, not server issue, but basically the machine issue. Okay, so my file is there. Everything is created. Let's give it a minute or two, so it will index everything. It will give like, take like 2 minutes or so. It will index everything now. So this is indexed. Now what I have to do is so first I will give you a little bit walkthrough on what Django is. So what is Django? Django is basically an MVT type of framework. I have explained MVT in deep in the other in the older videos basically, so you can refer to that. I will link them down here. So now what we will do, we have this here. We'll just open the terminal right away, and that my terminal is open. Let's wait for it to actually load the binaries. It takes some time because for some reason PyCharm is slow on my machine. Python manager.py. I'm going to start project. Actually, start app basically. So we will be using just one application here. Just one application in the sense we will have just one single view. So we have to-do list. We will create a step to-do start app. So the start app to-do should do perfectly fine. So it will just create the application over in the system. If you go here, Okay, so to do is over here. We do have to do list over here, so this is a different app altogether, and this is the manage.py, and I mean the main application, and then we have to do list and whatnot. So now we have to do is we have to actually include this application into our main application. Actually, we have to do a plugin to it. So now what we will do, we will just open settings.py. This file is what responsible for everything over here, so it just takes a minute to actually open up, and I will just so I will just close this part, and then I will just zoom it back. Now I don't need this, I don't need this either. It just actually adds up. Anyways, now what we have to do is we have to go down to the applications, right? Install application. So I will explain everything as we move forward. So what we are doing here is in the install application. This is basically a settings.py file. So everything that goes in and out will be saved over here. I mean the in and outs of the application will be saved over here. So I will just try to walk you through a bit of it. So it is the first is path imports. All the paths are imported over here. So like in my case, it is like whatever the base directory is. So here it is strict true parent.parent. So whatever the base directory is, it's included over here. And then we have the secret key, which is generated by the application at the time you create it. So it's more or less all MVC or MVT pattern applications or frameworks used to have a secret key to avoid any sort of application hijacking. But I will explain it in some different videos basically. So now, and then we have debug. So currently we have debug is set to true. This should not be set to true when you're doing it in the production environment, so just to avoid anyone else to see that error. So debug is set to true because we are doing development. Now allowed hosts, all the allowed hosts are the basically or the IPs where you want the application to be available at. So in case you want to have it on 127.0.1, then it's good and fine. You can just do the allowed host over here and be done with it. So if you want to have available everywhere, you can just do something like this. So it will be available everywhere with an asterisk. So I'm not sure the font is too small, I guess, so I will just make it a bit of a bigger size. Now we were here. So if we do this, I will show you what it actually does, right? So I will just remove it right now. So this should be fine. Now install app is somewhere where you actually place all your install app files, right? And where you will actually non-installed files, basically all the applications that you create with something like this. This to do is an application. It is over here, so it can be created right over there, right? So we will add this over here plugin right in a minute. And there are these middlewares. You can read about middlewares. I will just put on a link about Django middleware so you can read it in much detail. So what middleware is like, it works as a middleman. I mean, it provides some sort of pre-built functionalities. Like there's a security middleware, there's a session middleware, then common middleware, which actually will provide all the common features which are available with the Django. And then it's a CSRF view middleware. It will provide the CSRF protection for all your views. And then we have authentication middleware, which actually will give you the which will help you with the authentication. So authentication is already inbuilt in Django, but we will be using a different authentication down the line, like JWT or something. And then we have the the messaging middleware. So whatever messages you want to send over through Django, show it over on some applications. So message middleware works for that. Then we have is clickjacking middleware, which actually provides the extreme clickjacking safety. So this is how this is what actually is about middleware. And then we have the root URLs. So to-do list URLs are all the URLs that are globally used by the application, and the application routes through these URLs. So whatever URL you put over here in this urls.py file, so this is a to-do list or URLs. So this actually is a naming convention, how it actually looks for URLs. So to-do list URLs, and all the URLs are listed over here. I will show it in a minute. And then all the templates that you might have, you can actually show you all your templates here. So this is you can include all the directories that you might have. Like in my case, right now we don't have any other directories, we'll just have this. So it is actually a bit to just save the space. I have actually I have an option where it crunch up everything, wraps up all the things. It doesn't show much on this screen. Now then we have is WSGI application. So basically WSGI application is how you actually run the Django applications in the local. So this WSGI server helps to boot your Django applications locally. Sorry, Jambo. Okay, then we have the database. So right now we are using by default is we are using the SQLite. You can read more about SQLite on SQLite's website. We'll drop a link for that also, so you can check. And then we have the auth password validators. This is something interesting. You should read it. It is very long. I will try to cover a minimum of it. So it's like there are validators which you want to have. Like if you want to have minimum length validation, there should be a minimum length that should be applicable across the application. So this is what it does. And then common password validator should not be a common password, like writing password or simple PASS password 123, which is like very common. And then it should be a numeric password, for which we are using the numeric password validator. So if you put numeric password validator anywhere, it will just right away validate your passwords, right? Now then comes up is now this locale. So all internationalization and locale goes over here. You can actually read this topic about I18N. So language code right now we are using is English US, and we are using I18N by default, and also L1ON, L10N, sorry, not O, it's L10N. So, and you are using TZ, which is time zone, right? Now we have the static files. All the static files, as it says, static files, JavaScript, CSS images, these are considered as static files, and they will go over here right in the application. So that is all about settings. And there are a few settings, like this is these are the settings for ASGI server. So application side modules which you can use. So you can check it out, check it more about ASGI down in the description link. I will, as it is a very vast topic. It is basically a separate topic to actually learn about ASGI, so it's very interesting, so you can check it out.